So hello everyone, welcome to my presentation for the CodeStorm challenge. This is Capstone project for Introduction to Computer Programming course. So this project required us to solve 30 programming problems. And in this video, I will clearly explain the logical approach and a solution for 5 diverse problems that I will be explaining in this video. So the problems I have chosen demonstrate my proficiency in wide range of concepts like basic operations, string iteration, numerical data analysis, and control flow. So moving to our first problem. Uh, so the problem statement is an operator working behind the scoreboard of inter cohort AlmaBetter cricket team is responsible for updating scores and points for each team. However, the operator is currently facing a challenge. He has been tasked with updating the total number of points gained by Team London, but he does not possess the necessary programming skills to complete this task. According to the tournament rules, teams are awarded the following points based on the outcome of match. So for winning there are 3 points, for draws there are 1 point, and for losses there are 0 points. So Team London has played 8 matches in this tournament. They have won 4 matches, they lost 3 matches, and they one match was draw. So the operator is in need of assistance to calculate total number of points earned by Team London. To solve this problem statement, first we have to define variables. So first is wins, which are 4, then losses, which are 3, and then there are draws, which are 1. So after defining the variables to count total number of points gained by Team London, so first we have to look at the matches they played, which are 8. So out of 8 matches, they won 4 matches. So for winning, there are 3 points. They lost 3 matches. For losing, there are 0 points, and one match was draw. So for draw, there are 1 point. So to calculate total, first we have to multiply outcome with the points with the respective points. So for winning, there are 3 points. So 4 into 3 becomes 12. Then there are one draw match, which has 1 point. So 1 into 1 becomes 1, and they lost 3 matches. So losing has no point. So 3 into 0 becomes 0. So finally, summing it up becomes 12 plus 1 plus 0, which becomes 13. So the total points gained by Team London are 13. So the next problem is finding total is in bookshelves. So the problem statement is in your pursuit of expanding your knowledge of Python, you come across a bookstore in search of books on the subject. There you meet a salesperson who is also a Python enthusiast. The salesperson presents you with a challenge. They have a list of 5 books related to Python, and if you can write a program that finds the count of letter in, the store will give you free book of your choice. So the problems require us to count the number of times letter E appeared across the list of book titles. So this is a great demonstration of string iteration and loops. So to solve this, first we have a string of book titles. So the approach is to first convert the string into list data type using dot split function so that we can iterate it. So then we got a list of books which we can easily iterate. So first is Python for everyone. Second book is Learn Python for the hard way. Third is Python Crash Course. Fourth is Starting Out with Python, and fifth is Automate the boring stuff with Python. So we got a iterable list. Now in second code block, there are we initialize the count to 0. So totally count is equal to 0, and then we are using for loop. So so that we can iterate through every character in a book title. So here we are using dot lower function, so which takes care of case sensitivity like small e and capital E. So and finally, if the condition is met, which is total e counts plus equals to total book dot lower dot count e. If the condition is met, we increment the counter by 1. So in the next code block, we are counting the result. So the total number of P's in the list books are 8. Uh, so the next problem is measuring the accuracy of disease detection model. So the problem statement here is let's say you have created a machine learning model to detect diseases in patients based on their symptoms and medical history. So the model has been tested on a dataset of 100 patients, including 30 with diabetes, 45 with heart disease, and 25 with cancer. The model performance was evaluated in 3 rounds. In first round, the model correctly detected diabetes in 25 out of 30 patients. In second round, the model correctly detected a heart disease in 35 out of 45 patients. And in final round, the model correctly detected cancer in 25 out of 20 out of 25 patients. So the model's accuracy is defined as a percentage of correctly detected cases out of total number of patients. Assess how accurately your model is across 3 diseases. So to solve this problem, first we have to create the variables to store the number of patients and correct guesses by the system. So first is heart disease. The total heart patients are 45. Then there are diabetes patients which are 30. Then there are cancer patients who are at 25. Then here is the correct guesses by model of for heart patient which is 35. Then a correct diabetes patient guess by model are 25. Then correct guess for cancer patient by model is equal to 20. So to calculate the accuracy of each of 3 cases, first we are calculating the heart disease accuracy. So first we have to see the correct guesses, which is 25. 35, and number of patients which are 45. So it becomes uh, 35 upon 45 into 100. So the result is 77.77. Then to print the diabetes detection accuracy, first we have to uh, check the total number of diabetes patients, which is 30, and the numbers guessed by machine are 25. So putting it into the formula, it becomes 25 upon 30 into 100, which becomes 83.33. Then there is a cancer detection accuracy. So first we have to check the cancer patients. So the cancer patient are total cancer patients are 25, and the correct guesses for cancer patients by machine are 20. So putting it into the formula, each becomes 20 upon 25 into 100. So which is 80. Then to print overall accuracy of model, which is average of all 3 rounds, we have to uh, find total number of patients guessed by model and then divide it by total number of patients and multiply it by 100. So for total number of patients guessed by model, first we have to add correct heart patients plus correct diabetes patients and plus correct cancer patient. All these are guesses by model, and divided by total number of heart patients, total number of diabetes patients, and total number of cancer patients, and finally multiply it by 100. So the overall accuracy is 80. We can solve it by method 2 also, which is summing up all the previous detection accuracies, which is 77.77 plus 83.33 plus 80 and divided by 3, which becomes 80.37. So moving to the next problem, which is some odd numbers. So in this activity, you will create a custom function in Python that takes a list of integers as an argument and returns the sum of all odd numbers in the list. This problem focuses on creating a custom function to calculate sum of odd numbers within list. So first, this solution required defining a function using the def keyword. So we define a function name sum odd numbers. So that accept a list of as input. So inside the sum odd, uh, we then set result variable to 0 to initiate. Then we are using for loop here. So to iterate through the input list. Then within the for loop, we are using the modulo operator with if condition, so that it will check if the number is odd. So it is dividing number by 2, and if the remainder is not equal to 2, which means that is the odd number. So then if the number is odd, then the count will increase by 1. So the result variable will increase its count by 1. Uh, and finally, we have to check if the our created function is using properly. So we have wrote the test code here in next coding block. So we took a example list containing numbers from 1 to 6. So here we are using the sum of function we just created. So here the correct sum is supposed to be 1 plus 3 plus 5, which becomes 1 plus 3 4 plus 5 becomes 9. So the output here is also 9. So the result is correct, which means the function is working properly. So finally, the last problem is building a Fibonacci sequence generator. So, in this activity, you will build a program that generates a Fibonacci sequence using conditional looping in Python. The Fibonacci sequence is a series of numbers in which each number is the sum of two preceding numbers. The sequence start with the 0 and 1. The next number is the sequence. In the sequence is the sum of previous two numbers. So here in this image, you can clearly see what a Fibonacci sequence is. So here it starts with 1 and 1. Then the next number is a sum of previous two numbers. So which becomes 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Then 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Then 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. And it goes on. So to solve this, first we have created the variable which took input from the user, like how many Fibonacci terms would the user like to generate. So then we initialize the first two numbers. So we started by defining first two numbers of the sequence, which are typically 1 and 1. So then we initialize count to 0. So next we are checking if the number of terms is valid. So here we are using a if block. So if number terms greater than 0. So here we are using a if block to assure that the input is greater than 0, which is positive number. Then here in elif block, we are making sure that if the input is 1, output should not throw error instead of returning 1, cause 1 does not have two preceding positive numbers before it. Then in else block, we are using while loop that continues as long as the current number of terms generated is less than required amount. So inside the loop, we have performed three crucial steps. So first is so this loop runs until we printed the required number of terms. So first step is print the current Fibonacci number. So here nth is equal to num1 plus num2. So this is step 2, which is calculating the next Fibonacci number by adding the previous two numbers. Then third step is to update the variables for the next iteration. So we are assigning number 1 is equal to number 2. So it is shifting number 1 forward to the next position. Then number 2 is equal to nth. So we are updating number 2 to hold the newly calculated Fibonacci number, and then we are increasing the count so to track how many terms we have printed. So if you look at the output, first we have to enter the number, uh, like how many Fibonacci terms so we would like to generate. So if I enter 5, so the result here is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, which is correct Fibonacci sequence. So finally coming to a conclusion, these 5 problems have demonstrated my comprehensive proficiency in Python programming, from manipulating data types and performing complex analysis to implementing custom functions. And that completes my detailed explanation for Capstone project. So thank you for viewing my work.